Lifetime libido differences suggest relationships red flags. Hello, this is Chart GPT. Today, going to get into this the idea of sex drive, libido, and the differences and what that might mean and potential solutions that you may or may not like at the end of the video here. First off, obviously, we know these kinds of charts exist all over the internet about the hormone production differences between men and women. Men tend to have a high sex drive at 20, and then it tails off maybe on a linear basis, where women take a little bit longer to rise, and then they sharp off quickly with their hormone production through menopause. So that's just a biological reality. Obviously, men arouse quicker, and usually through a visual stimulation, where women tend not to be so visual as compared to men, and there are other factors of emotion built into that. Here we have the female egg count. I guess you have all your eggs at birth, and then they gradually slip away. It's interesting that at 20 years old, half your eggs are already gone, and by 30, they're down to 80%. So that's an interesting point. Of course, that fits into the reproductive strategy and the production of hormones. So all this kind of builds in, because you may think, you talk about relationship, everybody's different, of course, but you have to look at things on a broader scale, what it might mean. Here's kind of a poll of what people feel is the sex drive. Now, this is a poll, so people may say that they don't have low sex drive, but that may not be true. That's just how they feel because of other factors. But here again, you see this kind of rise and fall on a linear basis of men, and then you see this late rise for women, and then you see the cliff here in terms of desirability. Now, this is a polling which kind of confirms the biology that we earlier showed in a chart. So you have the initial higher male libido at the beginning, and then maybe men, because of the pretty power of female, because obviously female lose their beauty, and of course the men may not be as aroused, and so they will tail off, and sometimes maybe women even have a higher libido rate because they have a desire, but necessarily they don't have the arousal capability, and hence you may have that cliff. And then once the cliff goes down, then men take back over in terms of their amount of libido there. So that's interesting. Of course, there's a lot of whys in here. It depends. Everyone's different. If you're healthy, don't have the hormonal change, high blood pressure, drug use, fatigue, antidepressants, this kind of stuff, and what you're doing in your life will have a big bearing on this. So everybody's different, but this is kind of a general theme. Now, everybody's been giving relationships advice. You have the famous Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate people. They're always giving their take on it, and a lot of this is based upon biology. Sometimes they don't really talk about it too much on these podcasts, but it's kind of interesting. Here's Pearl Davis. She's another kind of a wild, wacky podcaster. It's kind of funny, but this kind of is what it is. So we're going to give our take on this, just purely looking at the biology of it. Men tend to marry women 2 to 3 years younger than them. Maybe they shouldn't. Maybe they should do more 7 to 10 years younger than them. And that way these charts line up better, so where the libido tends to match the male and female better. And then the second thing is, of course, women aren't going to like to hear this, but they need to maintain their pretty power by the time they reach 40 or 50. If they don't, then obviously the libido of women will rise higher than men, because the men become disinterested over time. So that's something to consider. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of disagreement on that, but these are the kind of the suggestions. Give us your take. What would be the best solutions to manage the difference in libido through life changes? And look at the AI, and they'll give you some issues between male and female libido. In any case, don't forget to subscribe.